Now, let's move on and walk through to connect your cell phone to the VEC, set up the configuration, and explore the monitoring features. Connecting your cell phone. The setup is just a little different for Android and iPhone, but don't worry, you don't need to install or download any extra software. It's quick and simple. Let's start with Android phones like Samsung. Step 1, open Settings, then Connections, then Mobile Hotspot and Tethering. Step 2, switch mobile hotspot to on. Step 3, tap the hotspot name to configure it. For the network name, set it to Velectric, all lowercase. Make sure every single letter is lowercase. For the password, also set it to Velectric, again, all lowercase. I'll repeat that, every letter must be lowercase. And select the 2.4 GHz band, which is recommended. Then tap Save. At first, you may see no devices connected. After a few moments, you should see one device connected, and that is your VEC. If you look at the VEC PCB inside the enclosure, you'll also notice the LED blinking rapidly. That confirms the connection. Finding the VEC IP address. On some phones, the IP address shows right on this screen. If it doesn't, just tap the information icon on the top right side of the screen. And there we go. Here's the IP address. Locate the IP address. It may start with something like 192.168.x.x or 10.x.x.x, depending on your phone and network. Make sure you write it down or memorize it, since it can't be copied directly. Now open your web browser on your Android phone, for example Chrome. Type that IP address into the address bar and press Enter. And just like that, welcome to the VEC interface homepage. Exploring the web interface. Inside the VEC interface, you'll see 4 main tabs: Home, Settings, Help, and About. Home shows live data from CT1 and CT2, giving you real-time current readings. Settings is where you adjust your main panel and load configurations. Help provides guidance for dual-channel and 3-channel configurations. About gives general information and lets you update your username and password. All right, let's go through the key settings you'll want to adjust. Main breaker size. The default main breaker setting is 100 amps. If your panel is smaller, like 60 amps in some condominiums, adjust this value to match. Always set it to the actual size of your main breaker. And if your panel is larger than 100 amps, say 125, 150, or even 200 amps, you'll need the 200 amp VSE version. That one comes with 200 amp CTs and can be adjusted for any breaker size up to 200 amps. Load breaker size. The default load breaker setting is 50 amps. Update this to match the breaker size of your connected load, for example, 15, 20, or 30 amps. Just remember, the maximum is 60 amps since that's the rated limit of the power relay. Turn on delay. By default, the turn on delay is set to 6 minutes. This controls how long the VEC waits before turning a load back on once conditions are safe. You can shorten this if you like, even down to 1 minute, depending on your needs. Turn off delay, inrush protection. The default turn-off delay is set to 10 seconds. This prevents unnecessary trips from short inrush currents, like when a dryer or motor starts. We recommend keeping this between 6 and 10 seconds. Save settings. After making any adjustments, always click the Save Settings button. Your new values are stored in memory and will stay there until you change them again. Monitoring feature. Finally, let me highlight the monitoring feature. This gives you live system data so you can see what's happening in real time. It also helps you understand how the system is performing and makes troubleshooting much easier. Example in action. Let's look at a quick example. Let's say main panel is rated at 100 amps. The VEC is always keeping an eye on your usage. Now, the moment your consumption goes above 80% of that capacity, the countdown timer kicks in, and that timer is based on the turn-off delay setting you chose. If the load stays above the limit after that countdown, the VEC will step in and automatically disconnect the controlled load. Once your usage drops back below the safe threshold, the turn-on delay timer starts, and after that time passes, the load is switched back on safely. So, in short, the VEC is constantly watching your system, making sure everything runs smoothly and safely without those annoying nuisance trips. Additional notes. Now, a couple of extra things worth knowing. First, upgrades. If you start with a single channel unit, you're not locked in. You can easily upgrade later to a dual channel, 3-channel, or even a 200 amp version. If your current seat CTs are 100 amp, all you need to do is swap them out for 200 amp CTs and update the CT size and the settings using the same software. Second, interlock mode. If you want to use VEC this way, just set all the parameters to the left side of the settings bar. Then, instead of putting the CTs on the main breaker, place them on the load wires like for a stove. And that's it. You're ready to go. Wrap up. All right. Your VEC is now fully connected, properly configured, and actively monitoring your panel in real time. You can see your live current readings and trust the VEC to manage your loads smoothly and safely. Thanks again for choosing VEC Load Control. If you ever have questions, our team is always here to help. And stay tuned. In the next guides, we'll walk you through setting up dual channel and 3-channel configurations.